What tools and techniques can e-commerce businesses use to improve their site speed and minimize abandonment rates and bounce rates?
I will say, partnering with Shopify regularly, we constantly are getting our app analyzed and scrutinized for site speed. And are you guys, loading fast enough? Are you loading your thing? What we've chosen to do from an app standpoint is actually load our app asynchronously. So we let everything important on your page load, and then some, and our pixel comes through and starts tracking. I think it's important to anything you add to your website, whether it be a CRO tool, whether it be images, whether it be whatever, is tested for site speed. So don't just assume because it's a CRO tool, they have their stuff together and they're loading at an appropriate rate. Just because the stock image is available, or your photographer, your product photographer said, oh, it's a, quality optimized, don't believe them. You need to do your own testing and be very rigorous about that, and look for tools that load asynchronously. Look for images that truly are, and there's several tools you can get online, but that truly are optimized for web and web loading. I would say trust but verify, or maybe even better yet, trust no one, and just go out and do your own research on that. But those are some words or some things I would key in on. And I know personally it's a priority for us, just from our own tool standpoint, to constantly, we released a couple years ago an updated version of Lucky Orange, and it was 100 times faster than our previous version. That's important. You should look for apps and tools and images and everything that it contributes to that and is a priority for that. So that's something I would keep in mind as well.
Yeah, and I think that site speed is massive, as we've talked about several times now. You have such a limited attention span with people. And so one issue that I see people running into is they get really creative with animation or elements on their site that do look cool and may perform really well from a visual standpoint, but they are slowing down the site. And so being really careful if you're trying to do something beyond the basic image, video. Be careful with video can be really great, but just make sure that the file types and the way you've loaded in the site follow best practices. I can't rally off like 12 best practices for compressing images and stuff, but I think the ultimate answer is that site speed is kind of like your health, where if you don't have it, nothing else really matters. And so if your site is loading really slowly, you've already lost somebody, or you've certainly lost a percentage of people. So that can kill everything else.